Hey, so welcome back to week number 2 of the Blueprint. And in this video, I'm going to give you a little blog lead generation plan. I know that most of you have a blog already, but I hope I can share a few things I've learned from 2 failed blogs, 1 successful blog, and from working with my friend John over at Boost Blog Traffic, who is actually one of the most successful bloggers online. And in later videos, I'm actually going to show you exactly what it takes to get your posts accepted on some of the most popular blogs in the world. So let's first start talking about why my first 2 blogs failed. And the first reason why my first 2 blogs failed was they weren't helping me achieve my goals of signing up new clients. So I know that blogging can be looked on as this virtuous endeavor where you're supposed to give back to the online community, but these days I actually don't buy that. Yes, I want to give back, but I also want my blog to help me sign up new clients and generate new revenue. Otherwise, it's a complete waste of my time. You want your blog to be the top of your sales funnel. For instance, this is the typical sales and marketing funnel that we've all seen. And if you notice, blog is at the top of it. So your blog is great for generating leads. It's great for driving traffic to your website. It's great for getting people to find you through Google or through guest posting or through social media. But it can't stop there. After people come to your blog through either Google, social media, guest posting, whatever, they need to do something else in order for your blog to be successful and help you achieve your goals of getting revenue. So after they come to your blog and let's say they sign up for your email list, they have to go through some sort of lead nurturing or autoresponder sequence. Now this could either be case studies and ebooks and other things along those lines, and we'll actually get more into that next week. And after they go through the lead nurturing or autoresponder sequence, then you have to get on the phone with them. And you might want to do this through like a consultation or some sort of marketing audit or things like that. And finally, after you do the consultation, then you can make the sale or the upsell after that. Now this is just one sales and marketing funnel. It's not the only one. Blogging takes a long time and a lot of energy. And I'm sure you know this. You spend a couple hours writing a blog post and you publish it and nothing happens. You're not generating new leads. You're not building your email list. Before you start spending a lot of time promoting your blog, make sure you have a sales funnel similar to the one that I showed you, completed and in order and working. So the second reason why my first 2 blogs failed was because there was no unique selling proposition. In the marketing, social media, PR, SEO world, there are a ton of blogs, tons of them. Why should someone spend their time reading your blog? If you were selling a product, this would be called the unique sales proposition. So let's talk about a few strategies for a unique sales proposition for your blog. First, you can be very specific to your audience. Most blogs are extremely generic. They're either about Facebook marketing or B2B online sales or something along those lines. However, now that you know exactly who your perfect fit client is, you can create exact content for him or her. This alone will separate you from the 99.9% of all other bloggers out there, making it easier for you to get the readers you want. So in other words, let's say you're working with B2B tech companies with high-end products and long sales cycles. That is very, very different than, let's say, even a typical B2B blog or a tech blog or something along those lines, because the content that you're going to create is going to be very, very specific to the problem that your audience has. A tech company with a long sales cycle has a very different problem than a tech company with a short sales cycle or a $19 type of product. Now, I will caution you, you're not going to get a huge blog with 1 million readers, but you're not looking to get 1 million readers. You're looking to sign up new clients. The second USP strategy for your blog is to change the format. This is David Siteman Garland, and he has a quote-unquote blog over at risetothetop.com. Now, what David does is he interviews people in his target demographic and publishes those videos on his blog. So What I would do if it were me working with B2B tech companies, I would start interviewing the CEOs and presidents of those companies, getting those videos, uploading them to the blog. There aren't a whole lot of marketing blogs with video shows these days. They are getting more popular. However, if you started one today, you would still stand out from the crowd. And finally, you can use case studies on your blog to be very specific and inject a lot of personality and a lot of unique experience into each post. So let's say you're doing a post called How to Create a Facebook Ad. You can inject case studies with pictures and videos that you did to create Facebook ads for your clients. Now, you would focus on the how-to section and use the case study to support the article, but this would be a great sales tool without being overly salesy. So the third reason why my first two blogs failed was that I was not promoting them enough. In retrospect, I should have spent 80% of my time writing guest posts until I got to at least 1,000 subscribers. This would ensure that people are reading my blog posts instead of praying people find them in Google and other social networks. And I would have built great relationships with the bloggers in my niche. So this is my friend John's very first blog post that he wrote on his blog, Boost Blog Traffic. And before he wrote this post, he had 13,000 email subscribers. And he got all 13,000 of them through guest posting. Now this post launched with great fanfare. It had 513 tweets, 126 likes on Facebook, and 44 Google Plus shares, 115 LinkedIn shares, so on and so forth. But he did all this through guest posting until he got to 13,000. Now you're going to ask me why he waited till he got 13,000 subscribers. I don't know what made him go at that number, but he did all this through guest posting, got a huge list, and then published his first blog. And finally, the fourth reason why my first two blogs failed was because I wasn't collecting email addresses. This was actually more due to the times. Back when I first started my two blogs, the first one I started in 2008, the second one I started in 2009, and RSS was the thing to do. These days, your email list is everything. So make sure you're doing everything you can to collect email addresses. Let me show you what I mean. This is Boost Blog Traffic, and at the very top of Boost Blog Traffic, John has what's called a feature box. Instead of having a very pretty picture at the top of his blog that doesn't really do a whole lot, John has a very pretty opt-in form that collects 10 times more email addresses than anywhere else on his blog. This collects 10 times more email addresses than just having it simply on the right-hand column of the blog. So I would highly advise you to put a feature box just like this or very similar where you're giving away an ebook or a case study or something along those lines at the top of your blog, and make sure people see it. Now John also has this feature box at the top of every blog post. So when you click into a post or when somebody links out to it, when they click the link on social media or Twitter or Facebook or something like that, they go to the post, but still at the very top of the blog, they see this feature box here. Now this is Derek Halpern's blog, Social Triggers, and his feature box actually takes up the entire quote-unquote above the fold screen. If you were to scroll down, you'd eventually see his blog posts, but he doesn't want you to see those at the moment. What he wants is for you to opt into his email list. And when you click onto one of his blog posts or you read one of his posts, at the very top of his post is, again, a little feature box. It's much smaller than John's, but it's still equally effective. And also at the bottom of every post on Social Triggers, he has an opt-in form. And his train of thinking is this: if you spend 15 minutes reading my posts, and his posts tend to be 1,100-1,200 words long with videos and things like that, so they are quite time consuming to read, and if you get to the bottom of the post, then chances are you're going to want to hear more information from him. So he has the opt-in form at the bottom of every single post, collecting more and more email addresses. John also has the opt-in form on the right-hand column, almost like every other blog in the world does, and so does Derek. Now before we move forward, I want you to ask yourself these 4 questions. What are the goals for your blog, and are you achieving them? Why should people read your blog in the first place? Can you apply one of the 3 USPs to dramatically increase results? How are you promoting your blog? My favorite way is through guest posting, which we're going to actually talk about more in the rest of this module and the rest of this week. And do you have your email forms clearly visible all over the blog? So if watching this video made you absolutely pumped about writing your next post, I want to caution you not to do anything until you watch the entire video. Because now we're going to talk about a marketing plan for your next blog post to make sure that it's extremely successful. I'm going to need you to open your mind for a bit. I want you to think of writing a blog post like launching a new product. What do you need for a successful product launch? Well, first, you need to set a revenue goal so that you can determine what quote-unquote success means. You need to know who your product is for. You need a unique sales proposition. Why should somebody buy your product? And finally, you need a way to reach your customers. How do they even know your product exists? The same elements need to exist in order for your blog post to be successful. You need to determine what you want the blog post to do for your business. Do you want it to build your email list? Do you want it to make sales? Are you looking to promote a webinar or an ebook or something like that? You need to determine exactly who your post is for. You need to determine why someone would read your post in the first place. The web is littered with distractions, and not just your competition. People are also reading things like ESPN, or their local newspaper, or a financial journal, or they're watching a funny cat video on YouTube. So why should somebody read your blog post over doing anything else like that? And you need a way to reach your audience and accomplish your goal. There's no reason to publish a post and have absolutely no one read it. So here is what most agencies do. They write a generic marketing post like how to engage your customers on Facebook. They publish it to their own blog. They email their list and send it to their RSS reader and all that other good stuff. They share it on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, and things like that. And then they call it a day. And if this is you, that's cool. But before you write your next post, let's go over how you might be able to make your post more successful using the blog post marketing. So step 1 is to determine success. Do you want to increase your subscribers, promote your webinar, make sales? So why are you writing this post in the first place? Honestly, it could be that you just want to continue building the relationship with your network, whether that's 200-300 people, 1,000 people, and all that other good stuff. But you don't want to do that all the time, because then you're not bringing in anybody new. You're not generating new leads. So step 2, determine who your post is for. If you have multiple buyer demographics, you would need to be specific. So for instance, and I'm just kind of making this up, if your agency works with both pediatricians and dentists, make sure that your next post focuses only on one of those, either pediatrician or the dentist. Or maybe you're helping your demographic solve a specific problem. So for instance, providing a strategy for software companies who want to increase user retention, or helping bartenders who want to get their customers to choose the higher quality alcohol. Both of these are very specific problems for very specific demographics. Step 3, what is your USP? Why should somebody read your post right now? So let's stick with the software company. You might want to interview a software company who has increased their user retention every month by 10%. That's a very unique sales proposition for your blog post. Or you might want to write a how-to post, and with every step, you're going to inject real-world examples, either through stories, pictures, videos, or testimonials. And by real-world examples, I'm talking about taking a screenshot of a company who's doing things quote-unquote right. Or you're going to write a case study of everything that you did, showing both the before and after results. Step 4, reaching your audience. So you're going to share it on social media, email, RSS, and all that other good stuff. That's a given. Before you write your blog post, determine if it will be served best as a guest post on another popular blog. So a how-to post will work wonders here. You might also be able to get 5 to 10 popular Twitter accounts to tweet the post for you. So if you include the real world examples and you're taking screenshots of people who are doing it right, you're going to want to email them and alert those individuals that you've used them in your post. Most of the time, they will be more than happy to tweet you because they want to promote themselves and they want to make themselves look good. And I'm going to go into more detail into the traffic two-step video on this, because getting popular Twitter accounts to promote your blog post and to tweet you is a great way to get new leads from your blog. So, can you see how working through these details before writing your post will almost guarantee that your post reaches more people and is more successful? Now that you have the launch plan figured out, now you're ready to write your blog post. So let's recap for a second here. Instead of writing blog posts day after day and completely wasting your time and the time of your agency, make sure that your blog serves as a lead generation platform at the very top of your marketing funnel. You want to make sure that the marketing funnel is complete and working before writing blog posts, before promoting your blog. Because promoting your blog and writing blog posts takes hours of your time and a lot of energy. And before you write your next blog post, make sure that you have a plan in place so that it becomes a successful post. Make sure you know who it's for. Make sure you know why that person should read the post. Make sure you know how you're going to reach that person. And finally, make sure you know beforehand what a successful post means to you. So in the next few videos, I'm going to show you how to get a blog post accepted on a popular blog. I'm going to show you some tips to writing posts so that way they actually get published by the blogger. And finally, I'm going to show you the traffic two-steps so that way you can systematically get popular Twitter accounts to tweet and promote your blog post. Alright, so I look forward to seeing you in the rest of the videos this week.